Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. It's icon time in FC 26 today as greats of the game drop into packs. Of course, this is a full icon and hero promo, which means we're going to be seeing some pretty cheap icons on the market today because these cards will actually be packable. But what about the rest of the content, right? We've got SBCs, Evos, and objectives that are pretty interesting for content today on Friday. Of course, another 4 Playstyle Plus Journey of Nations card is up for grabs. And it's also a big day for rewards. We got to talk about the token store that is refreshing and the Champs token store as well that is going to bring some new rewards, of course, up to date with the Greats of the Game promo today. And I've actually got a bit of a plan with my saved up FUT Champs tokens to maybe hit it big with these new icons that are coming today. We're going to talk about that and definitely talk about the market because yesterday's content on Thursday really cooked some prices unexpectedly. Guys, we're going to talk about these star performances as well. Let's get into the video. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, yesterday's content, as I said, was almost better than our promo Friday. Let's start with the not so exciting stuff. First of all, in objectives, we have the refresh of the weekly SP objectives here in the seasonal tab. So if you're needing SP and you want to blitz through the season pass, make sure you check this out. There's a Path to Glory home kit as well, where you can get a bit more SP. I don't chase SP, especially because in the latter weeks of the season, which we're not that far away from, it is so easy to level up in the season pass. You don't even have to try. Now, also in objectives yesterday, we have the weekly rush points, which gives us 100 festival football tokens. So if you want to play rush, you can go get 100 tokens here. I would not recommend it unless you really enjoy rush. And actually, speaking of rush, there were some leaks yesterday that EA might be removing the mode entirely in FC 27. I find that very interesting. Now let's keep it moving and talking about SBCs because we had a couple of small SBCs yesterday, including a National Pride Korean striker Oh Hyun-gyu. Pretty cheap, one squad to do and customizable with playstyle pluses. We also had throwback marquee matchups, and most importantly, we had the return of the 77x5. It's out for one more week. This is where you put all your gold commons, and this is what makes the menu grind so good right now on this game. You do the provisions upgrades, you do the daily gold upgrades, and all those gold commons go into this. This will give you fodder and rare golds to do other upgrade packs, and you'll get a lot of 83s and 84s, which we need for a lot of other upgrade packs right now on this game. So it is super duper nice to have that back. GG's EA, thank you. Now, to the good content. Guys, yesterday, EA dropped a banger of an evolution. It is 100,000 coins, but it is worth every penny. It's called the Wave Your Flag Evo, which gives you a very large stat boost, and it gives you the National Pride card type, which allows you to then customize the playstyle pluses and base playstyles inside of the Playstyles lab. You see Mbappe here is the example choice card that they show. He is one of the best options in this Evo that gives huge stat boosts. We're talking plus 30s to all the different stats on the card, boosting up to 94, 95, 96 in some stat categories, but it doesn't give any playstyles. And again, the whole point of that is it changes your card type, and then you get to choose the playstyles that you want yourself. The best cards that are coming out of this, in my opinion, are ones that only have 1 or 2 playstyle pluses, maybe some cards from earlier on in the year. We talked about Mbappe, he's a great shout, but like a card that maybe you've forgotten about or that really needs a playstyle makeover, this is a perfect evolution for them. I mean, you take a look at the stats that these cards are coming out of here with, and you're looking like absolutely insane cards, but for a card like this Pogba here, it's really not worth it for me to put this Evo on him for 100k. He's already got 3 playstyle pluses. I've already customized those playstyle pluses, in fact, and he's got 8 base playstyles as well. So it really doesn't make that much sense for me to do that. Maybe it's Lamine Yamal. Remember Free Yamal, this Evo that EA gave us during, or not, sorry, this SBC that EA gave us accidentally inside of the Sophia Wilson SBC during Team of the Year. You could Evo Lamine Yamal up to this and then put your own playstyle pluses on him. I think that is where this evolution shines. And as you can see, people are creating some really wicked chains on Footbin with Mbappe here, with the quick step, with the finesse, and with the low driven. You got a VVD with 96 pace that does, of course, use the gold standard Evo, which is not out in the game, so ignore that one. You've got a Isak Toure, that's a 99.0 footprint rating card. That's absolutely ridiculous. There are so many chains that are being created in this EVO right here. Actually, Mbappe is, like I said, one of the most popular, and Mbappe's gold card has exploded in price. If you guys have not seen, he is extinct now at 340,000 coins. Wow. Yesterday he was 215K. Guys, this Evo was not leaked before it came out. It was a straight up surprise. The upgrades are amazing. The customizability of the playstyles is amazing. It is a fantastic piece of content. GG's EA. Take your time deciding who you want to put into this, but have fun with it, because especially if your cards already got pace like Mbappe, you can come up with some really ridiculous items out of that Evo. Now, before we get to the new cards that are in packs for a short amount of time, let's take a look at the cards that got upgraded yesterday. Of course, we had English, Colombian, and Ghanaian cards that got 99 stat boosts, of course, for their wins on the final day of the first match day of those World Cup group games. So Bukayo Saka, Rodriguez, Iñaki Williams, Bellingham, Konsa, Munoz, Ayu are the cards that got upgraded yesterday. And today we're looking for Canadian and Swiss cards, including Jonathan David, I believe he's got a PTG, and also Xhaka getting upgrades for their wins that they had in the second round of these group stage matches as we begin those this week. Again, the cards are only going to get updated if they lost or if they drew their first group stage match. So this is their second one. So if they didn't win that one, then this second game would count for winning one group stage match, which, of course, Switzerland did do yesterday and Canada did do. So those are going to be upgrades that are incoming. And, of course, we've got more games today on Friday, some huge games. Really, really excited for the USA game. There won't be any upgrades for the USA game because both Australia and USA won. They'll just be progressing towards the next upgrades on the path. Now, let's take a look at the star performer cards that EA dropped yesterday. This was a surprise. We talked about this a couple days beforehand, even in yesterday's video, but I didn't expect it to be on a Thursday. Star performers are in packs for the best players, according to EA, that performed well during the first week of matches of the World Cup. We've got Lopez, we've got Ayari, Balogun, Erling Haaland, Mbappe, and Messi. And guys, if you take a look at the store, these pack weight percentage numbers for these cards are very low. I opened 4 of the 600K World Stage Guarantee packs yesterday, and I didn't see a single one of these cards. This is the best pack probability that you can find for these Festival Football Star players. 2.3% chance in the pack, and then in the 89 plus player pick, there's a 6.8% chance. And yes, you heard me correctly. I opened 4 of those. That is 2.4 million coins worth of 600K packs, and I didn't hit a single one of these. But these are crazy hype. They're only in packs for 2 days, and if you are lucky enough to hit them, GG's. Now, it sounds like maybe this is going to be a weekly thing. I mean, that kind of is what we hoped it would be. Star performers released each week for players that are performing really well in these World Cup matches. But again, they're only out in packs for 2 days, and they are fully customizable. You see Messi and Mbappe and Haaland with the finesse, the low driven, and the quick step plus. They've got 1 playstyle plus from what they did in that game, but they're fully customizable up to 3 PS pluses and 8 base playstyles in the Evo Lab. Now, guys, these cards really rocked the market yesterday. The combination of these new cards and the Evo made so many people spend coins, either on the Evolution for 100,000 coins or opening store packs for these star performers. I mean, when you have a Messi, Mbappe, Haaland limited time card and pack that you get to customize, there's going to be a lot of people that spend coins on packs, myself included, especially for that Balogun. Now, I'm probably going to spend a few more coins on packs today, but as you look through the market, guys, prices on these PTGs and just everywhere have gotten cooked because of all that content that came out yesterday. Laporte was 170,000 coins. I actually bought like 5 of them at 170K and was like, I'm going to hold long term. I had to buy a couple more down here to 140,000 coins because I almost feel like this Team 2 of Path to Glory is going to follow the same trajectory as Team 1 did. If you guys remember, Team 1 of Path to Glory last week, when it went out of packs, rose nicely because PTG Team 2 was not that great and the content wasn't that great. Now, this means that all the live cards for Path to Glory will be out of packs by this point, not getting supplied unless EA do something crazy. So I think we can look at Team 2 here as a decent opportunity to invest. I'm still a little bit skeptical though because of all the icons that are coming into packs today. So market-wise, I still like some of the Path to Glories, especially if they didn't get their first 99 stat upgrade. Now, for a player like Christian Pulisic, who has already got 99 acceleration on his card from that first win, maybe there is a little bit less hype heading into the game today because he's already got that upgrade. Now, sure, winning would mean he's on track for another 99 set upgrade for winning all 3 group stage matches, but the real upgrades and the real hype for these cards is going to come during the knockout rounds, and I still think that you can invest in some of these. Like, that's the reason that I bought Laporte. I think Spain is going to turn it around. How could they not? So I picked up a couple for 140K along with the others that I got at 170, and I'm down to hold. Also picked up some Shalhanaglu's for 420,000 coins because they're playing Paraguay in their next match. I think he's finally going to get a 99 stat upgrade. I think they're going to turn it around and play good. So if you want to make an investment on a PTG card, again, you're thinking of it as a longer term hold. But man, we were thinking these cards were longer term holds a couple of weeks ago. And just, my goodness, how has the market changed in landscape and how these cards have even dropped so much since that point. Still, they have a lot of chances to go up, and there's a lot of upgrades that are still yet to be obtained for these cards. But wow, we have been in a crazy, crazy market since the World Cup has come out. Now, last thing about the market, Fodder also got cooked yesterday. Now, this was an unexpected byproduct, in my opinion, of all of the store packs and all of just everything that yesterday's content brought to the game that really, we saw play through on the market. 88s are 1,000 coins right now. We talked about buying 84s at 800 to 900 coins because they'd be spiking, right? Well, yesterday they didn't really. They still did actually a slight bit after content. But if you bought these cards and you're like, Nate, they're not going up, I wouldn't worry because SBCs are still out there. Going to require those cards. We're going to have more SBCs probably coming this weekend. I do believe that those will go back up. I think actually that 85s went up yesterday after content a little bit too after dropping. They were at least at 1.3K. So I think that 84s and 85s are still going to be good to trade with. It might take a couple of days before they go back up to like 1.5K like we were seeing, a couple days before now. But I still think that is a decent opportunity to, trade and invest on a lower budget. Also, if you're wanting to invest in one of these cards right here, the star performers, let me talk about this for a quick second because today on Friday, we might have a Festival Football Star Performer Guaranteed pack. This pack code was just added a few hours back that includes one Festival Football Star Performer player item guarantee. If this is dropped while these cards are in packs right now, there's only 6 of them. So sure, Ayari and the center back Lopez are going to have the highest pack weight, but there's a chance of Mbappe, there's a chance of Messi, Balogun. So I'm personally going to try to open this if it does come out. But, this pack is going to be one that a lot of people are looking out for today, and that could impact the market negatively again. Also, you've got icons that are going to be impacts the grade to the game. So I look at that and I say, okay, market might drop today. But then I look at how cheap these have gotten and I think, okay, I want to invest. I'm stuck somewhere in the middle. We're really going to have to see how it plays out today and how cheap the icons are and how hyped the rest of the content is. But still, with these limited time cards in packs, some people are going to send the house for them, myself included, send some more coins just because the uniqueness and the connection to the World Cup is there for those star performers. Best of luck if you're going to open any packs for those. Don't spend real money, of course, only coins. Coins are king. It's not worth the real money, especially because those are super duper duper hard cards to pack. Now, let's talk about what is happening today, guys, with greats of the game. Like I said, these icon cards should come onto the market pretty affordable today, at least compared to normal icons, because they're just way more packable. Like, here's my price prediction. I think that Didier Drogba's 94 rated new icon card is going to be 50K by Sunday. Maybe not today, but I think by Sunday, I think that card's 50,000 coins, only 3 play style pluses. Even though it's a Drogba icon card, 50K sounds ridiculous. Like, how can that card be super expensive with only 3 PS pluses? I mean, still good PS pluses, and it's a Drogba card, but I'm going to say he's going to be pretty cheap. The rest of this team, we've got some other gems. We've got some other cards that look like they're fodder. Chiellini, like I've mentioned yesterday, could be good for Evos. Same thing with Koeman. A guy like Charlton, Zidane, Henry, and R9, they're not going to be cheap. This might be a crazy, weird promo team where you've got an R9 and an R10 that are 10 million coins plus, but then you've got cards down here like Philip Lombati, Stuta, Turam, and Closa, Sukar, and Barnes that are like under 100,000 coins, and you're like, wait, what is going on? That is how these icon promos work, because these lower tier cards, especially these heroes, you're going to see a lot of them showing up in packs. Just remember the Trophy Titans promo and how this was. Sol Campbell, the first night of this promo was like 30,000 coins. I mean, he still is 30,000 coins now, but like that's how these icons are going to be and live on the market. They're going to be super cheap and they're going to be super packable. And in my opinion, that's cool because we don't get to pack icons like this a lot, and it still gives you that chase of like one of the top tier cards. So take a quick screenshot of this or pause the video if you want to look through any of the official stats, but this is the promo team that is coming today. My next question for content is, who's going to be our SBC? We don't exactly know. I'm sure it will be leaked today before the content drop. The SBCs for this week just don't look that great. Luis Figo is the only 4-play style plus card that is leaked right now, and he does look decent. But like if you did Salah, do you need that card? Luis Figo is usually not that meta in game. What's going to make this one different? You know, the other cards in here are 3-play style plus items. Baresi could be decent if he's cheap. Haji, same thing. Kempis and Rivellino, those are new icons that are being added to the game today. So maybe there's a little bit of intrigue from myself and maybe from you guys as well to see if that mustache on Rivellino is actually like that in game, because that would actually be pretty sick. And you know what? Both of those cards look usable. So if this is like a cheap SBC where we get to try out the new icons that are added, I wouldn't be against that, but it's got to be affordable and it's got to be cheap, because nothing here is like popping off the page to me like OMG must complete besides the Landon Donovan, and that's just the USA bias in me. I also think it's possible that we could have a showdown today between Oliveira and Pedro Porro, and I will definitely be completing because of Pedro Porro there, and I think Spain can win this game and turn it around. But those are all the SBCs that we have leaked right now. Like, is there really nothing else on top of this? Like, surely EA know that that set of SBC players isn't quite gonna fit the bill. I don't know, but one of these, if not multiple, would be today. My guess would be either Figo or Kempes and Rivellino. So those are just my guesses. We do not know for sure. Now, maybe the Evo content is what's going to cook today, but the leaks don't really tell that sort of story. I mean, again, the Evo that we had yesterday with Wave Your Flag, I don't even know what sort of Evo is going to drop today that would top this, unless we're going to be able to create a player that's got 4-play style pluses, because all we have right now is a max 91 striker evolution that is set to come today, called the Friday main event evolution, as they kind of leak it for the day that it's going to be released. We don't know the specific details on this one yet, and the only way this would be super crazy is if it does maybe allow you to get 4-play style pluses, but I doubt that's the case, since he hasn't really been talking about it, and it hasn't been hyped up that much. That's kind of how the leaks went this week, right? The leaks went crazy at the beginning, like, oh my gosh, this icon promo is going to be insane. And now that we've actually gotten close to it, we're like, how is this actually going to play out? Is it going to be a dub or is it going to be an L? Now, before we talk about objectives, I actually forgot to say something about SBCs, because on Fridays, we've been getting these player picks. Last Friday, we had the 91 plus TOTS Summer Nations or UEFA Winners player pick. That's expiring today. Hopefully that refreshes, or some other sort of TOTS SBC. One word of warning. We had a specifically mentioned tradable Team of the Season pack that was added to the code yesterday. And I say one word of warning because yesterday in the video, we were looking at trading with cards like the Eric Garcia TOTS card, right? This has been some of the best ways to make coins on the market, is getting on bids and snipes for these out of packs Team of the Seasons that are still pretty expensive in price. If we get a tradable TOTS pack, you might be like, Nate, nobody's going to pack this card. There will be a few people in the world that pack a tradable Eric Garcia or a tradable Schumann Team of the Season, and that'll make their prices drop. Fodder Team of the Seasons will drop. Other Team of the Seasons will drop too. So if you have any of these TOTS cards, especially if you're just trading with a couple of them, I'm not telling you that you got to panic sell right now, because TOTS cards are still, what, 35,000 coins or so? Somewhere in the 30K range. Maybe down a little bit because people are expecting this tradable TOTS pack. These cards will drop, but so will the cards like the Eric Garcia. So will even a card like a Team of the Season Harry Kane or Olise. It sounds crazy to say, but some of those cards will get packed too, and everybody's going to want to do a tradable TOTS pack just in case they pack one of those players. So I would try to sell the Team of the Seasons if you do have any of those cards today. Last thing, other SBC wise, Maybe we get another 83 plus nation tournament player pick today, because that's one of the SBCs that's set to expire. And other than that, I mean, maybe the 100 players upgrade comes back, but I didn't even complete that one last week because I think those are not good value. Now, the final part of content today might be one of the most interesting parts of content, and that is objectives. Every Friday, we get one more Journey of Nation objectives to complete. We're on week 3, and that is Africa, with JJ Okocha being the group reward. Now, last Friday, if you remember, the Tim Cahill objective that was a part of the Alawayran Journey of Nations full completionist objective was glitched. Please, EA, nothing with this should be glitched. This is the 3rd week, okay? The first 2 weeks of the Hugo Sanchez, and then last week with the Alawayran, we had problems with glitches. This time, please no glitches, okay? Now, this is the Africa objective, so you're going to need players from Ghana and Morocco, Ivory Coast, DR Congo and Cape Verde, and Egypt and Tunisia. Check your club so that you're ready, because just like we saw last week with Uzbekistan players, you didn't even need to buy one off the market to do the objective, but they still went to 8,000 to 10,000 coins anyway. Check your clubs and be ready to sell any of these silver, bronze, or even gold players from these nations as people go and complete these objectives right away. This is going to be one of those, like we do every week, that we kind of wait and see what is the optimal way to get this done. Every week so far, it's been about 10 to 12 games. I literally just finished the Alawayran because I put off finishing the games throughout the rest of the week. But that is maybe the biggest part of content today. Now, I would love to go through here and show you like some sick evos, but as I'm looking through this, I don't see any evos in the rewards. There could be evolutions inside of the like individual objectives inside of like this Ghana and Morocco objective group here, or in the side of the Senegal group here. But at least for the group rewards, it is just packs and players. So hopefully there are some evos inside of there, because this has been some of the places of where we're getting the best evos in the last couple of weeks on this game. So definitely watch out for that. And then finally, the token store. All right, I've got 50 tokens to go until I max out my 3rd week. We used that little SBC shortcut that we talked about in yesterday's video to get ourselves up to 950 out of 1,000. I did some objective tokens as well and had my rivals 250 that I got. But how am I going to spend my 2,500 tokens is the question, because the store for the Festival Football tokens is going to refresh today at content. Are we going to have icons in this that are not in packs? Are we going to have other Path to Glory players? I'm really curious to see what player cards they put into here. I'm also really curious to see what some of the packs are that they put into here. Now, we've already seen some of the packs like added to the code. If I go back to Foot Scoreboard's Twitter here and just pull up a couple of the packs that were put into the code yesterday before the content drop, we got the 93x3 Greats of the Game player item, which is very similar to what we have in the store right now of the 93x3 PTG Team 2 player item. So that sounds to be right about the same. There's also the player picks that are inside of here, like the 2 of 8. Sorry, that's the Glory Hunters pack code right there. So EA actually prepared for this week's promo and then next week's promo at the very same time. Where is that one? Yeah, right here. The 6 Festival Football Great of the Game Guaranteed Pack. This is the tradable one. And actually, this takes us to the Champs store. And let me talk about this now, because it's not really even a good idea to like try to visualize what this store is going to look like today, because it's probably going to be about exactly the same if we're being honest, but maybe EA will do something different for the players. Like the players is probably the thing that could change the most in here today. I digress. What I'm doing with my saved up Foot Champs tokens that I mentioned in the intro of the video is risking it all for something crazy today. For 750 tokens, you can get a 6 Festival Football Path to Glory Team 2 player pack. I'm not opening this, but I will open the Greats of the Game one when it comes out today, because that gives you a 93 plus 2 of 7 pick, and then 4 Greats of the Game that are 92 or higher. Now, looking at this team of players, if you open a pack 1 hour after these cards were released into packs, the odds of you making more coins than, let's say, if you would have finished your weekend league and then opened that tradable pack from the Champs token store are way higher. My hope with this today, and this is partially because I've been opening so many store packs and I would love to just get a tradable reward and make a bunch of coins back. My hope from opening this pack today would be getting lucky and hitting R9, Dino, Maldini, any of these top 4 playstyle plus icons that would sell for over 1 million coins. That would be incredible. That is what I'm going to try to risk it on today. It is definitely a risk. It's definitely to feel something and to try something out. But this is a bit of some people have been doing it for the last week, but this is a bit of a shortcut as well that you can do to try to send it and make the most coins possible. Save your Foot Champs tokens and open one of these tradable guaranteed promo packs right after the new promo comes out. Again, it won't be immediately after. It'll be an hour after content that this store refreshes, but we'll be testing that out today on the stream. So I'm super excited to see if I pack one of the big boy icons and make a whole bunch of coins. It will be fun. Now, speaking of coins, we got to get active on the market today, and we got to be careful with these PTG cards because of the icons, but I think they can still be good investments. I still think, oh my gosh, 2 million coins from Musiala is crazy. Crazy how cheap some of these cards have gotten. I still think we can trade on the market. I don't think we have to be scared. I like out-of-packs cards. You guys know I love the rare cards. I trade with these like winners items every single... What? 1.36 for Claudia P. I sold this card for 1.7 mil 2 days ago. Payor is 1.7. Oh my gosh. Okay, prices are getting cooked. But I gotta believe that some of this rebounds back up a little bit during the weekend, especially on some of these ultra rare cards. Like I just picked up Hakimi for 2.7 and sold him for 3 mil. The Zaire Emery that I bought yesterday at 2 mil, I ended up selling for 2.3. So, this is pretty crazy if I'm being honest. But I think it's a Friday night. With these icons being in packs, it's going to get some people onto the game to want to play rewards. That's gameplay demand, and I still think the market can rebound. But I'm still wanting to be a little careful at the same time. I'm hesitant. I like the market. I want to invest. At the same time, I'm like, holy, prices have dropped so much. But if you want to get involved on Path to Glories, this has got to be close to the last time to get involved. Unless content today is so crazy that people panic sell these again. But these are live cards that are going out of packs. And, well, that happened last week. And the cards moved up pretty good. So we'll see what happens this week with PTG cards and with the market. But make sure you're there with me on stream to see how it goes down. And of course, we will have a watch along later today for the big USA-Australia game. I'm super excited for that one. Cannot wait to stream that and experience that with you guys. But if you enjoyed today's video, drop a thumbs up on it, comment below if you had any questions, and of course, subscribe if you're new. Have a great Friday, and I'll see you in the stream for content today. It's been Nate, TheFutAccountant, and catch you there. Peace out.